Hey everybody, this is GutsyCanuck, bringing you my second video ever, and this one is going to be a furthering of my previous one, which was an introduction, so a video that's got a bit of casting in it, but it's mostly an introduction towards helping new players getting into the game, or people who want to know about Dota so that they could easily follow my videos and know everything that's needed to know to follow them successfully. Okay, to start off, this is an introduction video, as I said already, but it is an extras one, so it is going to have things that weren't in the previous one that I missed. It'll have things that I haven't already went in depth with, so things that were in the previous, but possibly I needed to go more in depth so that you get a better understanding of what's actually going on. And it'll just have other things, just extras, stuff that's needed to know but wasn't explained in the first one. Again, you could probably do Dota, like understand it pretty well with just my first video, but excuse me, but I'm going to do an extras one just in case, just to further yourself. So down here on the Sentinel we have Shadow Fiend, Tuskar, Bristleback, sorry, there we go, Bristleback, Pit Lord, and Vengeful Spirit. So 2 melee, 2 range. It's a good combo for a team. And on the Scourge, oh shoot, I think I might have said Scourge for the Sentinel. Just my bad if I did that. But for the Scourge, we have Furion. Again, like with the first game. And Phantom Assassin for bottom lane. Middle lane, we have Pudge. Very popular hero. I'm going to go a bit more in depth with him. Hopefully we'll see some good things coming out of Pudge this game. And for top we've got Lion, the Demon Witch, and Admiro. So I'm going to focus on middle lane again, like I did with last video, just because it's easier. Again, I'll be focusing on all the heroes late game when they're not in their lanes anymore. And yeah. Oh, sorry about that bump there. It just lagged or something. What we've got here in middle with Pudge and Bristleback is 2 melee heroes, which in the last game were 2 range for the solos of middle, so a different perspective. You'll notice that with melee heroes you gotta keep your distance a bit more than like with range heroes, because range heroes could just hammer at each other. I guess melees have a better chance though when it's melee than range, because range you could hammer the other guy and everything. Now to start off with the extras, I can't show you, unfortunately. I'm unable to show you this bit of information I want to tell, but hopefully you grab the aspect. When you type, because you'll notice there's the first blood. When you type, you'll notice that people type in this to talk and communicate and everything. They'll use terminology, short form, and weird words you might not know about. Oh wow, an early lever. That's never good. Sorry about the jerks. I don't know why it's lagging and everything. Okay, back to topic. Blech. Okay, people use terminology in Dota to simplify things, as in the real world with texting and stuff like that. So you've got, in Dota, people might type like MIA, that means Maya, it means missing in action. People call this when someone has left the lane. For example, I'm just gonna go to bottom for a second. Mordred might type MIA for Maya if Pit Lord all of a sudden decide to leave this lane for more than 20 seconds, let's say. The reason why she's typing that, it's to let her other teammates know in other lanes that Pit Lord is not in his lane. We've got it. Oh, just blinked away. We've to let Pit Lord know he's not in his lane. No, to let her teammates know Pit Lord's not in his lane. And this just warns them that he's gone. Because he could either be possibly ganking, or maybe he just went back to the shop or something. But since we don't know that, if she calls it out, then her teammates will know that someone's missing from that lane. Which could mean a gank, so they'll be a gank, so they'll be more careful. If Furion calls Maya, and let's say Pudge calls Maya, which Pudge at the moment is ganking, or checking for a rune, it doesn't matter. I think he's ganking. If 2 Mayas are called, and they're from different lanes, then that usually means a gank, so someone in this lane that's heard of the 2 Mayas is gonna know, wait a second, that's not a good idea. Maybe I should back up a bit in my lane, because the gank's most likely gonna hit them and they're gonna blow up. Okay, so enough about Dota slang. Okay, well there's other things like RE means return. So oh, nice hook by Pudge. Okay, gets the kill. Sorry about this, guys. I'm really trying to focus on the intro. I know I'm getting distracted and everything, but bear with me. This is my second cast, so I am still fresh on the whole casting and introduction thing. But back with the slang, there's other slangs like RE, which means return. So if Mortrid called Maya on Pit Lord after 20 seconds of being gone and Pit Lord returns to lane, she's going to type RE because that's going to mean he's returned, so people don't have to be as cautious or careful in the other lanes. There's care, which basically if Mortrid pushes this tower and goes like way over here this far into the opponent's territory, someone might tell her to care because she's most likely going to get ganked or something, as you saw in the previous video about lane pushing and stuff. So that's slang. There's lots of slang. It's basically the ones you really need to know about. There's a thing with what you saw at the beginning with Shadow Fiend leaving the game, early game, which is not good. That's always a negative. There's a thing called Lever's Gold items and EXP, which if someone leaves the game, like Shadow Fiend for example, then that is one less person in top lane. So you've got 2 solos rather than 1. So they're gonna get more EXP, that's solo. Unfortunately, the downside is that they're gonna have to deal by themselves against 2 teammates, or like 3 up here doing a tower push. Where, see, he's all by himself, Pit Lord. If Shadow Fiend was in the game, he would be up here to help him. So that takes away from another player using abilities and stuff. There's a thing called Lever's Gold, so not a good example with Shadow Fiend right here, but if someone left late game in a Dota game, so later on in the game, let's say halfway through, when they leave, all their gold and everything would split amongst his team. Yes, Shadow Fiend's team. So that gold would help benefit the team, which could make that team have a better advantage against the opposing team, which has less gold because they have another player. But again, another player's what I'd say is best, because that's abilities and other stuff rather than just gold for you to buy better items, more items and stuff. And then there's Lever's EXP, which I explained about the soloing. So there's 2 solos. So you're going to have 2 guys higher level than as of the opposing team, which would only have 1. So that's about levers. Never a good thing. You could also do the same thing with the whole EXP thing. Like, you could have someone, it's called neutral creeping in a game. So basically, if someone's neutral creeping, when the game starts and everyone's level 1, you're going to have 1 guy in 1 lane, another guy in another lane, 2 guys in a lane, and then you'll have that 5th guy of your team neutral creeping, which means he just creeps early game till about level 6 or whatever, and it's kind of like having another solo. So if you feel the teams are uneven, that if things just go normally and everything, you're probably gonna lose, then nice hook by Pudge. Anyways, then you're going to want another solo just to get that upper hand against the other team. But again, neutral creeping isn't always the best thing to do. It's just certain heroes could do it, and some people prefer to do it to get another solo. I also forgot to mention, just gonna watch this battle here for a sec. I'm not gonna say anything about it, just... And, okay, he's down. But is Morchard down? Yes, she can make it. Kanka's getting pretty low. Admiral. Okay, last game, you can't see here because no one's discovered it. The fog of war's in the way. But, last game, I didn't mention about special shops. I did mention about shops, which were back here at base, where you buy your items and recipes. Up here, we're right in the middle of the screen where I'm kind of doing the green box. There's a special shop. So you look at your mini-map down where my hand's circling. There it is, for the Sentinel. And the Scourge, I'm going over here. Look at the mini-map if you can, and you'll see my hand spinning. This is where the Scourge's special shop is. So this guy right here, which is hard to see. These special shops don't sell recipes, but they sell items that are not at your main shop. So certain recipes here may say that you need a certain item. You're looking around in these shops and you can't find it. Well, it's most likely going to be at the special shop. So again, there's another shop. And if you're a Sentinel, you don't have to buy at the Sentinel's shop. You could go over here and buy at the Scourges if you want. There's also these shops here. You look on the screen, and then I'm going to bring my hand out to the mini-map. So, top left of the mini-map here. Then if you keep looking at the mini-map, bottom right. These are just shops because bottom and top lane are a bit longer than middle lane. If you notice the difference on the mini-map. So, rather than running back to base to get items and stuff, there's some items sold in here. And they're not special items, they're items from back here at main base. And I think the odd one from here that's sold in there. So, you could buy items here. Nothing like heals or any of that, but yeah. But they aren't special shops. These are special shops, which Lion just discovered there for a second. Gonna go to this battle. This Pudge is actually doing very well. Just gonna check his KD ratio, which is kill-death ratio. Okay, yeah. He's doing okay, he's not doing bad. Nice. Pudge is getting out of here. Furion is also. A lot of creeps. I think they're gonna push this tower, it's pretty low in HP. Anyways, moving on to more extras. I mentioned Fog of War, which, for example, there's Fog War, this dark, cloudy stuff in the trees. It's all about vision, so since Admiral's up here, there's no Fog War, really. And then it'll appear in a second when he leaves. See, it's there again. That's just all about vision, so... And people think, oh, that's just... Okay, why are you telling us this? Fog of War is a very important thing in Dota, because Fog of War is the thing that stops epic kills from happening. It saves lives and everything. So, for example...